All right, welcome, kings and queens, y'all. Today we are back and we are talking Wendy Williams. Man, oh man, oh man. Ooh, this is a very complicated situation that Wendy is in, and I'm gonna say this, Wendy, girl, you are in trouble. That woman is holding you hostage. I do believe in conservative. I hold on. I do believe in appointed guardianship if it's necessary, but to hear and witness the fear that she has of this guardian. Y'all look at this picture of this lady. That lady looks like she will come in like Annie from Misery, tie you to a bed, honey, and knock your ankles in. This is pretty scary. And I want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Wendy Williams did a phenomenal interview with The Breakfast Club this morning with Charlemagne the God and his co host at 7 a.m. And I am so glad that she took the risk to speak out because Lord knows, y'all, they have complete dominion over her. Complete dominion over her. She's literally being confounded to a luxury prison. She has one window she gets to look out of. She cannot do or go anywhere on her own. They literally have her locked in this apartment. It is so scary. I want to talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
So let's get into this clip that was aired this morning from The Breakfast Club. We're just going to listen, and I may pause every now and then to give my take. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Give me one second. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Here we go.
I have one more question for you. And when you can
Okay, we don't want to do that one. Let me pause this. How about that? How about you just pause, Queen Sheba? Okay, here we go. I think I'm ready to go. I have it teed up and we are about to go. There we go.
Wendy Williams is currently trapped in a conservatorship. If you don't know what a conservatorship is, it's when someone is in charge of making decisions on your behalf, but usually because the conservatee is not able to make decisions for themselves. Wendy can make her own decisions. She is not cognitively impaired. She is not incapacitated. She is being taken advantage of.
Right.
I have to agree with Charlemagne the God. I do believe she is being taken advantage of by these white people. I believe this is a money grab, and I think it is a full-fledged operation. Now, I do believe she needs and requires some level of assistance, but I do not believe that Wendy should be confined to her home. I want to talk about it just a little bit. So in 2022, let me go back a little bit, okay? How it all unfolded. In early 2022, Wendy Williams, her financial advisor named Lori Schiller, reported to Wells Fargo that Wendy was of unsound mind, and that prompted the bank to freeze all of Wendy's accounts, okay? So this woman who's supposed to be working on the behalf, not the conservator, we're talking about the financial advisor, took it upon herself to call Wells Fargo and said, listen, this lady ain't in her right mind. As a result, all of her bank accounts were frozen and petitioned to the court for a third party, temporarily financial guardian to be appointed. Okay. So there were concerns about the financial exploitation, dementia, and undue influence arose after purchases made by her son, Kevin Jr. during Wendy's time in Miami, Florida. So sometimes it be your own family. I ain't trying to be funny. Sometimes it be your own kind. Because of the behaviors, the ill financial behaviors, let's call it what it is, predatory behaviors of her son, Lori intervened and said she's not in her right sound, in her right frame of mind. And as a result, this is how it all unfolded, okay? So the transactions prompted Wells Fargo's to question the validity of her power of attorney, citing potential undue influence. I can see that because Kevin had no damn business spending that amount of money as it relates to his mother's accounts and her credit cards. And that's what happens, y'all, when you coddle them young ass boys and when you coddle them and they have no discipline. and no male influence. So that's what led to the guardianship proceedings when she returned to New York in early 2022. Are you following me? Wendy's family, her son presides in Miami. While she was visiting her son, her financial advisor felt like he took complete advantage of her, that he preyed on his mother. I have to agree, but I do not feel like it warranted the actions of Wendy being punished. Okay, but let's continue. Let's continue. Here we go.
Wendy, tell us what's going on.
First of all, to start with, my niece Alex knows a lot as well, but I am not cognitively impaired. You know what I'm saying? No, but I feel like I am in prison. You understand what I'm saying? I'm in New York City, right? And Alex, you know exactly what you're talking about. You flew from Miami to New York and you were right here with me. Go ahead.
She's there in New York in this place, essentially like what some would call a luxury prison. This is her room. That's literally her apartment. But the thing about this apartment, and you know this, not Wendy, because you're there, it's small. She has a bed, a chair, a TV, a bathroom, and she's looking out one window.
And excuse me, through my money, I had this person buy the TV, the kind of TV I like, through this person, because all of my stuff is in storage. You understand what I'm saying? Everything's in storage. And by the way, that was to sell my apartment. But anyway.
Is the person your guardian? Is that who you're referring to, your guardian?
Yes.
Well, you know.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about it. That's crazy that a guardian wouldn't have enough damn sense to know that if you're going to lock me in a room in a quote unquote luxury apartment, that I would need some type of entertainment. So Wendy had to ask for a television. In my opinion, Wendy, I believe they are driving or trying to attempt to drive you crazy. Because from the sounds of it, as we get deeper into the interview, I don't think she gets to go out and get any type of sunshine without permission. The hell? But listen, the court records are sealed, y'all. This is how deep and complicated this is. The court records are sealed, and it is assumed based on public statements and limited family access that Wendy is under plenary guardianship. What that means is the guardian has full legal authority. Now, let me tell you where my source. My source is this article that I found is by JD Supra, okay, on the internet. So I want to make sure I quote my sources. But this lady, what's that lady's name? I'm going to tell you her name in a minute. This lady, Sabrina Morisi, has full authority over Wendy. Media reports of Wendy's erratic behavior combined with her health issues, including Graves' disease and lymphedema, which led to her stepping down from her talk show in 2021, likely heightened Wells Fargo's concerns about her decision-making and potential undue influence. Now, here's my thing. Then you get her the right assistance. That does not mean this mean-ass white woman that comes in and locks her in her room. If anything, she needs more of a healthcare assistance. Okay? You put her on an ample budget, and you block her son from making those types of purchases. But to confine her to a room as if she is a dog? Nah, somebody need to say something. These factors, combined with questions surrounding her mental capacity, led the court to appointing attorney, Sabrina Morisi, as Wendy's temporary guardian in May 2025. And here we are, in May 2022. She became Wendy's temporary guardian in May 2022, and here we are in 2025. The guardianship was further complicated when Wendy was diagnosed with primary progressive apasia and frontotemporal dementia in May 2023. Similar to actor Bruce Willis's diagnosis, these conditions impair communication. She seems to communicate well to me on this interview, and cognitive function, which reinforced concerns about her capacity despite having a POA, that's a power of attorney, in place. This case highlights the limitations of a POA when questions about mental capacity or the agent's actions arise. This is crazy, but let's continue.
Sabrina Morrissey is her name. A&E Network and Lifetime were sued by Sabrina. She claims they exploited you in a vulnerable state. They exploited your condition, and I'm putting condition in air quotes. You signed to do that documentary without your consent, but A&E and Lifetime countersued and said that Sabrina realized the documentary would question the quality of her own guardianship. It actually says in the lawsuit, it appears that Morrissey is misusing her position as a guardian of Williams to silence criticism of her controversial and failed administration of the guardianship. They even used the words guardianship abuse. What do you think of that?
Me and the person that you were just talking about, this guardian person, we watched that.
Do you see how sharp Wendy is? Does she seem like she has a problem communicating or functioning cognitively? That's bullshit. This lady, this is a form of abuse. The fact that Wendy had to ask for a television, ma'am, and you didn't think to give her a television like you have in your home, the fact that her doors have to be unlocked by someone in order for her to go get sunlight and she has to ask permission. What type of psychological safety is that? But let's continue.
That 4-part thing on TV together. She was the one who wanted to do that. So I'm watching and writing things down, and she's watching and writing things down. And I saw all of that, by the way. And what do I think about being abused? Look, this system is broken. This system that I'm in, this system, it has falsified a lot.
But what can we expect from the powers that be? Have they not falsified a lot? And I'm not just talking about in today's world. Previous years upon years upon years upon years. There's a specific demographic of people, not all, that have come to be known as being dishonest, disruptive, bullyish, taking over things, ideas, lands, inventions that do not belong to them. Because let me ask you, are we really shocked? But let's continue.
You know what I'm saying?
They said you're cognitively impaired and you're incapacitated.
Do I seem that way?
You've been calling me 5 times a day for the last 2 weeks. No, you don't seem that way.
Right. I just want to underscore what you were saying, Charlene, as well. And that is, this is still.
First of all, shout out to Charlemagne the God for stepping up as a king and just giving Wendy some type of social connectivity. I can only imagine what she's going through being locked in that luxury prison, not having anyone to talk to, right? Because the lady does control the phone, and they're going to get into that. But shout out to you for taking her calls, Charlemagne the God. Because there's a lot of people that will step on you when you're down. We know that when you're up, everybody loves you. But what happens when you're down? So he's never turned his back on her. He's never turned his back on her. And I can really appreciate the fact that he's reaching back to do something about it. So thank you.
Still a legal situation. So yes, there are things that my aunt just can't talk about. Yeah. There are things that we as a family can't talk about.
That's right.
But I think that the thing that we can talk about is the fact that my aunt sounds great. Yes. I've seen her in a very limited capacity, but I've seen her. We're talking to her. This does not match an incapacitated person.
Not at all.
And she that's why we say she's in like a luxury prison. Yes. Because she is being held and she is being punished. All I'm saying is just treat the woman with dignity.
Amen. But I don't think this woman. Okay, let me hold my peace.
And give her the freedoms that she deserves.
Well, let's say let's say what Wendy wants. Wendy wants to be, released out of this conservatorship, but she wants to be in Miami with her family, with you, Alex, and with the rest of the family, her son. She wants to be in Miami. She's made this known. She's told everybody she needs.
The problem with that is her son is predatory when it comes to her financial resources, and we've seen that. That's a fact, y'all. That's what got Wendy in the position that she is in today. The fact that her son has taken full advantage of her as his mother. He is the reason. He's about 85% of the reason that the whistle was blown regarding the finances and what he was doing to his mother. So I am not going to excuse his ill behavior as a spoiled ass brat and the kind of kids that if you coddle them boys, this is what happens. This is an example of what could happen. So shame on you, Kevin Jr., for taking advantage of your mother, which has now placed her in a situation where she's being confined and she cannot exercise her freedom and her power to just use her money to do as she pleases. She can't even come outside without permission. Shame on you.
Needed to tell. I don't know why it's not happening.
Let me just say about Miami, okay? The entire family now lives in Miami, and my son is doing such a great job. He graduated, and I was in Miami, and that was about a month ago.
Yep.
Alex, talk about the great time that we had and seeing my dad. We all went out and had like a party at one point.
Yeah.
Your dad's gonna be 94 next month, right?
Listen, my dad.
That's a whole nother conversation.
94, that's a whole nother thing. Like, I don't know whether I'm allowed to fly to Miami to say happy birthday to my dad, to get him. Well, that person that you talk about who's holding me hostage.
Sabrina Morrissey, your guardian. We got to say her name. We got to put her name out there.
I don't know that she's going to let me, because she already said to see my dad for his birthday. You know, he's going to be 94.
Crazy.
So, and
the fuck? She can't go see her dad. Now, listen, this is very complicated and convoluted because, Wendy, we got to talk about the medical side of this. So, you know what? Wendy has been deemed or declared incapacitated. And Sabrina Morrissey has been appointed guardianship to cover financial, medical, or both types of decisions, financially and medical. Now, the court is supposed to limit the guardian's powers and requires regular reporting. But Wendy's case, it demonstrates how people can take advantage of the system. This lady is an attorney. She's a vice president of the New York Bar Association. If I'm correct, okay? I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. But the point is, if you're concerned about her well-being, then you appoint a personal assistant, a healthcare provider that can travel with her. You know what I'm saying? You get a board, you get a table of people outside of the guardian, and let her be included, that can all vote on if like maybe a person that maybe 3 people that can be assigned to her. You get what I'm saying? But to confine her and she can't even fly to go see her father, ma'am, this is prison. This is abuse.
And please continue to talk, Alex. Go ahead.
Yeah. She may not be able to come down here for my grandfather's 94th birthday. Every day is not promised.
Right.
One thing that I know that my aunt wanted, and we talked about this ad nauseum, she wants to be here for his birthday. Wow. And the fact that they're playing games about my grandfather being able to see his daughter and my aunt being able to see her father, I'm sorry. That is just absolutely sickening.
Like, I'm exhausted thinking about, what if I can't see my dad for his birthday? You know, at 94, you know, the day after that is not promised. It's not promised. You know, I have things from my dad.
This is so triggering to see Wendy go from here to there, and this white lady is in charge of everything, who doesn't deem her valuable enough, who's, to me, inflicting inhumane treatment passively, aggressively, confining her to a room, that she's not important enough to be able to visit her family. I understand the financial component. I understand the medical component. There are strategies, there are contingencies that you can put in place to ensure that she's not taken advantage of. There are limits that you can place on her card. You get what I'm saying? But to rob her of her dignity under the guise of financial exploitation, dementia, or undue influence, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And this is a situation that probably requires for deeper discussion and conversation. But if we don't have people at the table by way of attorneys, judges, court appointees, there's really nothing we can do except continue to say her name, Sabrina Morrissey, like Charlemagne the God said. Let's continue.
In storage, and there are little things that I say, you know, I'm not going to give it to them, but I'm going to sew them and make them so that they look perfect on on me. You know what I'm saying? Yes,
Right.
I know how to sew. I've known how to sew for years. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, I want to give my dad some sort of fragrance. You know, I want to go to Sephora and pick and choose. What? Right now,
Yeah.
my life is like fucked up.
Yeah.
It is. I have to agree. How do we get here? How do we get here? We got here because your son was irresponsible. That was the first thing. I'm not saying Wendy didn't have medical conditions, but what triggered the red flag was her son.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
Alex, do you think that there'll be some type of there'll be some type of retaliation from the Guardian because of
This
you know
call?
maybe this phone call or because of wow.
We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my aunt, even with her wanting to come on, we talked about all scenarios. I said, you know, do this. You ready for what's on the other side? And as she said, I have to do this.
So let's be clear. According to her niece, and she and Wendy had a very in-depth discussion regarding the ramifications of Wendy speaking out, that the Guardian, there's a high probability she will retaliate. Girl, I expect nothing less from this mean old biddy. I expect nothing less.
There's nothing else I could do at this point. She's prepared for the fact that her phone might be taken away.
What if they take my phone? I won't be able
That is crazy.
to talk to anybody.
Yeah. And, you know, you all, what you're hearing now, this is a few-minute clip of what we've been dealing with for the last several months and she can get moved and we may not even know where she is.
Wow.
That was the reality of where
That is not humane. You moving her around like you're transporting a dog, taking communication devices so no one can talk to her. What the fuck?
she was during the documentary. We weren't permitted to go see her. So this whole documentary aired. Nobody's able to call her. Nobody's able to see her. You know, the reason why I was doing the stuff with The View and Good Morning America was because she was nowhere to be found.
Wow.
In the meantime, you know,
what are we going to do about that?
Listen, here's the weird thing, right? And while you're on The View, right, I got the telephone number. I could call Joy Behar, but my number is with the Guardian. I could call my friend Rosanna Scotto. I could call Fat Joe. I could call Alex. My number is not in storage, but my Guardian person has my phone.
Right.
God damn.
So her Guardian phone. So why it was, according to Wendy, it was Sabrina's idea to do the documentary, the one that we felt like Netflix robbed, only gave her like $400,000. Horrible. But listen, the Guardian took the phone so that nobody would be able to communicate with her. There's a comment under this video, and one of the viewers said her Guardian is trying to bring her to an incapacitated state by leaving her in a room with barely any outside communication. No incoming calls. She can only call out. Nobody can call Wendy. Wendy can only call out. Wendy, what they're doing is oh my God, they're trying to prove so that she's incapacitated, because Wendy would have to know your number in order to call you, right? The person continues to say, can you imagine what this does to somebody's mental? Oh yeah, they're going to drive you crazy. Almost similar to that of solitary confinement. Furthermore, her environment and the people she's around, the lawyer, the Guardian, and whoever else involved in keeping her locked in that prison needs to be investigated, because I guarantee you they got a policy on her. I guarantee you in some twisted way, in my opinion, they have a policy and they've redirected those funds that they would be the beneficiary and primary recipients of her estate should something happen. Yeah, her kid would get something, but I have a funny feeling and a sneaky suspicion that they are clever enough, especially you, Miss Sabrina Marisi, that you have directed that money or a piece of that money to go somewhere else. That's just my personal opinion.
Alex, let me ask you a question.
Excuse me, has had it for 3 years, by the way.
She's had your phone for 3 years, and she got control of all your bank accounts and everything? Wow, okay, you're right. Yeah, okay.
And the reason why Wendy said, Wendy is not cognitively impaired, okay? She is fully functional. And let me tell you why. Because the court records are sealed. And Wendy is savvy enough to know that she can't talk about that. So when she said, she's adhering to the gag order. Court records are sealed. This is not the actions and the communication of a woman that can't function cognitively. I call bullshit on you, Sabrina.
Okay, right.
Now, Alex,
but that's what the news report said. The news report said she has control of your bank accounts and everything. Wendy Williams is currently trapped in a conservatorship. If you don't know what
let's pause and let's go to the next one. Here we go. And then we're going to end it and just kind of get your thoughts and take the conversation to the chat.
Lauren LaRosa, who works here on the Breakfast Club, you know, I connected her with Wendy a couple of days ago. Lauren went up there yesterday. And tell them what happened, Lauren.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Alex, was it like this for you? When I got there, the people at the front were very aware that Wendy was there. They had me sign in. Her name was in the system. They had to call Sabrina to even see if I could go up there, even though Wendy was on the phone with me when I arrived. And she let them know, hey, this is my guest. I want to see her. I'll even come down. Please have someone bring me down. Because as she said, she can't get in the elevator nor leave her room without them unlocking things for her.
She's locked in her fucking room. I'm sorry, pardon my language. What if a fire starts? What if something, God forbid, something happens to her? And she's in there for days and days on end. This is gross. This is negligent. This is crazy.
Wow. They were aware of that and everything was fine. And I was waiting. They called Sabrina a couple times and she didn't answer the phone when they called. And then all of a sudden things just like flipped. These like men came out and they're like, well, who are you? And what are you here for? I told them who I was. I told them I was there to see Wendy. They said, we don't have anyone here by that name.
Oh, wow.
They never said to me,
did you believe that?
No, I didn't did I not make it upstairs? They basically told me I didn't even feel comfortable still being in the lobby the way that I was treated. Like it was insane, especially being as though Wendy was on the phone with me when I walked in and she spoke to the concierge herself and said, I want to see this person. She is here for me. And then these people are like, she's not even here. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I dealt with your colleagues that.
So then they start lying and said, Wendy is not here. That's scary.
Had me sign in for her. She's in your system. So you're going to tell me she's not here? Or did you speak to Sabrina as well? Because they said that was protocol. You have to call Sabrina first. We don't know Sabrina and we don't know Wendy. She's not here. They said that to me multiple times.
Wow. You know,
and it's scary. It's very scary.
Did you feel like she was in a safe space?
No, I feel like if you dealing with me like that and she's on the phone with you telling you like, this is, you know what I mean? I want to see her. This is my people. God forbid something happens to her and her family needs to get to her. And I asked Wendy that as I was walking out, I'm like, yo, man, like I've dealt with my mom and my grandmother went through medical stuff. And
here's the thing now. This is why I say her son ain't shit. Because he has his ass in Miami frolicking. If you really care about your mother, you get your ass down to New York, you get an apartment, and you follow every step, every trace, everything that they're doing. You go and you show support for your mother. There is a study done on prisoners, people that are confined to federal prison, penitentiaries, and things like that. And the study show that the ones that get treated the most are the ones that have no hint of family connections, no visitors, nobody that's checking on them, nobody that's popping up and things like that. I believe a good portion of what's happening to Wendy is because her son and the rest of the family members are not there in New York. Okay? Get your asses down to New York. If they're not going to allow her to come and live with you in Miami, and I don't think she should be living with all of them anyway, because a lot of them, let's talk. Not all of them have the right intention. Not all of them are showing up because they're being supportive. They want some of that money. Who? I'm going to say the son. Who else? I'm not sure. The ex-husband, I know that. But get your ass to New York. Sacrifice. Relocate. Go and support her.
And a bunch of stuff, right? I can't imagine not being able to get to them.
See my mother.
Right. And I said, is this how it is when your family comes? And Wendy's like, yes.
And you know what, Lauren, I want to say something because I did hear yesterday about you going and it was like the whole mess, which you just explained.
Yes.
Also, I want to go a little bit further with that, Wendy, because we talked about this yesterday. That happened, and the alarm bells started ringing. That's when my aunt was told, oh, and I'm paraphrasing here, but you know, your cats chit-chatting my way. And anybody that's a Wendy fan knows how much my aunt loves chit-chatting my way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gave those cats away. You don't have.
Y'all hear that? Do you hear that? Sabrina Marisi, after Wendy attempted to have a visitor from the Breakfast Club to come and sit with her, talk, and interview, the Guardian called her and said, you know your 2 cats? I gave them away. Y'all.
Don't have many more.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Your dad's birthday? Well, that's up in the air. You're going to have to talk with Linda.
And then said, and you know how you ask for permission? Like she's a fucking prisoner. You know how you ask for permission to go see your daddy? That may not be happening. You need to speak to Linda.
Me and Wendy talked about those cats the whole way there. Yes. Oh my God.
It's like she's getting punished for just trying to be a normal person
to live
about society and to live. Exactly.
And for the record, Wendy was really excited to talk about those cats when I got there. That's all she was talking about. Was like, we got to talk about the cats, because she said that her cats have been in like a home or something like that for a year, and she doesn't know how they're being treated. And
my question is, why did they take her cats away? If you're concerned about her you get her an assistant, a healthcare, a CNA, somebody that can help her. But you don't they're taking away, y'all, all forms of human life, animal life, anything that's breathing, and they're confining her. They are attempting to drive her insane. But let me tell you something. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. If you can, and if you feel compelled, I want y'all to say a prayer that God will come in and disrupt any ill intent, any malicious plan to drive this woman insane. And God will have the final say so sooner as opposed to later.
And that she wanted to talk about that. Like she really wanted to talk to me about that. And I'm like, I'm being treated as if I'm here to rob a bank, and I'm just here because she's lonely and she just wants to talk to someone and see someone in person. And she lit up when she saw me walking down the street. Like I couldn't believe it.
So Alex, they took her cats?
Yes. So that's what she told me yesterday, right, Aunt Wen?
Yes, I had no idea that I had no idea that they actually took my cats. You know what I'm saying? You know, I wanted my cats with me. You understand what I'm saying? And I actually, that's my friend Lauren. I was saying, Lauren, you know what I'm saying? You know, come, you know, about the cats. Anyway, so my cats are gone, everybody. And I did not know that until I talked to my guardian person. And she told me that the cats are, I said, you mean they are gone, chit-chatting my way, my twin cats, they're gone. And, you know, I got my cats through watching TV with, you know, doing my show. And anyway, listen, and about the water. Look, I don't know what kind of water you all drink. I am a Poland Springs person to my, look, Poland Springs. And I told it to you, Alex, the water.
Yeah, the water, you got like some brand that you're not, you know, used to getting, which is it's a normal brand. But I think that the bigger conversation is that it's a constant fight just for you to get the basic necessities. You don't ask for much.
It's her money. If she fucking want Russian water, you get her Russian water. It's her money. How come she's not allowed to go to the store with the assistance and the help of somebody else to pick out her? Y'all, this is abuse. And we can do something about it. Pray, use your platform, speak out. This is beyond me. I've never heard of such a thing, but let's continue.
Right. Here's the thing about my aunt. She's a very low maintenance person for anybody that really knows her. She doesn't ask for much. The one thing she wants is just the Poland Spring. Please get it on time so I have enough water here while I'm locked up in this luxury prison. And it's always this back and forth conversation where you never know when that's going to happen.
Excuse me, and can I please have regular conversation? You know, here, I can't have regular conversation except on the phone when I talk to people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the people that work here, that's not regular conversation. Get out of here. And the people that live here, oh my God, hell no.
So
Wendy said, don't play with me. Don't treat me like I'm in an insane asylum. This ain't regular. Don't be telling me that I'm the person that's coming in here to clean up. Oh, you've had your recreational time for today. Wendy said, don't play with me. I know the difference.
So getting rid of the cats won't let you possibly see your father next month for his 94th birthday.
She can't leave.
No, don't say I won't. Don't say I won't see
I
her.
said possibly. I said
dad.
possibly. What I'm getting at is all of this feels like some sort of retaliation because of what they've been seeing the last couple of weeks. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! My God! Oh my God!
Yeah. That's what this is.
Lauren LaRosa, who works here on The Breakfast.
And that's the gist of this. Please go over to The Breakfast Club. You can find them on YouTube too and look at the entire interview. Great job. Kudos to them. I applaud their efforts. Thank you, Charlamagne to God. This is important. And I think you've done a wonderful job. Y'all, what are your thoughts? Let's take it to the chat.